Shout out to all the supporters of Tupac Was Lyrical. First of all, got to give a shout out to my homegirl Ivy from Nigeria. Got to shout out this young brother named Poya, P-O-Y-A, Poya. Got to shout out my man Dern DZL1. Got to shout out my man Rich Nice. I got to shout out my man Slip and Roll Boxing. I got to shout out my man Drix B. Gornstead, 808. Got to shout out Gainland. I got to shout out Slim 400. Got to shout out my man Charles Carter. My man Sundeep Singh. But right here, we about to get into it. Let's do a smile breakdown real quick.
Our lifestyles be closed caption, addicted to fake attractions. Pictures and actions be played back in the midst of mashing. No fairy tales for this young black male. Some see me stranded in this land of hell, jail and crack sales. Hustling hardly think of culture or the repercussions while busting on backstabbing vultures. Selling my soul for material wishes. Fast cars and bitches. Wishing I lived my life a legend, immortalized the pictures. Watch that tears, say your sympathy. My childhood years were spent burying my peers in the cemetery. Here's a message to the newborns waiting to breathe. If you believe, then you can achieve. Just look at me, against all odds. Though life is hard, we carry on. Living in the projects, broke with no lights on. To all the seas that follow me, protect your essence. Born with less, but you still precious. Just smile from in there.
Before I even jump into it, I must say, yo, when Pac went into the Machiavelli era, his lyrics just became more deep. So at age 25, like when you really just listen to what he was saying, you know, I'm mesmerized. I'm amazed. I'm amazed by what he was spitting. And it was 26 years ago. So I often envision if Pac lived, the lyrical wordplay, it would have just got more and more deep, more advanced, more complicated, more intricate. You know, Pac was just letting you know that, man, I can hang with the best of them. This is why I put Tupac at number 1. But anyway, Tupac said, our lifestyles be closed caption. Now that right there is a deep line. And once again, like my interpretation may not be the same as somebody else's, but when you think of closed caption, what you're thinking about is like watching the TV screen and you see the words at the bottom. And it's just like, our lifestyles be closed caption, addicted to fatal attractions. So my interpretation of that line, our lifestyles be closed caption. So our lifestyles be closed caption. So our words, you see it. Our lives are always captioned with words, whether in media, whether in video, whether in books. You know, you just see the media. You see people always talking about our lifestyles. And when I think Pac was relating to black people in general. That's just my opinion. Now, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. That's just my opinion. But it's a deep line. And it's poetry and it's art. So art can be interpreted in many ways. But let's go. Our lifestyles be closed caption, addicted to fatal attractions. Come on, man. It just gets deeper. Addicted to fatal attractions. So we get, it's like right now in this world, 2022, you see the girl that just got killed in Mexico. Or you see people get violent or get killed. Only thing we do is record it. Record it. We addicted to fatal attractions. We desensitized. To really break it down, to simplify it, we are truly desensitized, in my opinion. We addicted to fatal attractions. We could be addicted to women that are no good for us. Women could be addicted to men who are no good for them. We could be addicted to a lot of things that we are attracted to that more than likely can be fatal. Then he says, pictures of actions be played back in the midst of mashing. Pictures of actions be played back in the midst of mashing. So you see the picture, you see the actions of us fighting, rewinding it back while mashing on your enemies and things of that nature. No fairy tales for this young black male. Some see me stranded in this land of hell, jail and crack cells. He said stranded in this land. It's like you want to get off this freaking land, but you're stranded. And it's hell. And only thing it is jail and crack cells. It's amazing that a lot of my people are still going to jail. It's amazing that a lot of my people still smoke crack. It's amazing that a lot of my people still sell crack. Niggas are still going to jail. That shit should be played out. I would think so. That shit should be played out. But you stranded in this land where that's all it is. Hustlers hardly think of culture. Yo, when people say Tupac ain't lyrical, every line I'm repeating is powerful. It's deep. It has meaning. And I'm trying to go on because this will be a long ass video because, like I said, when you enter the mind of Tupac, bro, this dude wasn't your average 25-year-old, man. And I ain't gonna name rappers that's 25 years old now. They not on this level. Right now, Nas got the dopest album out, King's Disease 3. But this Smile verse is equally comparable to whatever Nas spitted on that album. That's how deep Pac was 26 years ago. Now, just imagine if that brother would have lived in 2022 and still focusing on rhyming. But anyway, he said hustlers hardly think of culture. So we out here hustling. We ain't thinking about the culture. Look at these. That's why 21 Savage said what he said about Nas at that time, even though they made a song. But to the young generation, Nas is irrelevant. And it shouldn't even be like that. Because that's like me saying, yo, Melly Mel is irrelevant. KRS-One is irrelevant. Rakim is irrelevant. LL is irrelevant. That's disrespectful. Because these brothers paid the way to be where they at right now. So it's definitely disrespectful for me to be saying, or for me to be not caring about culture. I care about culture. I care about our culture. It's important because with culture comes traditions, culture comes history. But these dudes out here hustling, getting that money. Yo, I need that money. I ain't got time to think about that bullshit. So he says hustlers hardly think of culture or repercussions while busting on backstabbing vultures. Yo, bro, come on. This nigga Tupac, I might just break down this first verse because it's going to be too long for me to do both of them. So I'm just going to do the first one and do a part two. So he says, hustlers hardly think of culture or repercussions while busting on backstabbing vultures. So boom, you hardly thinking about the culture. Whatever culture entails, you're hardly thinking about it. Because if you was thinking about it, you would have more respect for that culture and you probably wouldn't be doing what you're doing. Or these hustlers hardly think of repercussions. A lot of people don't think about the repercussions, like Tupac said, because I always got to worry about the punk that I roughed up way back, coming back after all these years, rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat. And that's the way it is. Wasn't thinking about those repercussions. And then the nigga came back. So, and busting on backstabbing vultures. So you shooting at these backstabbing ass niggas. Were you shooting at these backstabbing people that was once your friends? Pac is deep. People say it's simple, but it's actually not. It's actually not, bro. He says selling my soul for material wishes, especially when you just constantly bigging up Gucci, Versace, Balenciaga, all these name brand shits. All these name brand shits, especially for black people, make your own shit. But we got to get our own resources. When we say make our own, like we need to have the resources to make our own. You see when Kanye lost the money with Adidas and Balenciaga and all this other shit, he tried to go to Skechers. And they was like, oh, nah. So you're going to have to deal with other races because they hold the resources to the type of fashion that you want to make. Unless we are able to get a hold of the acrylic, the polyester, the cotton, the leathers, the furs, the etc. Selling my soul for material wishes. Now, that's just my opinion. That's my interpretation of it. Like I said, art is deeper than that. Art is deeper than that, and Pac can mean something totally different, and your description might be different, or your interpretation might be different from what I'm saying. And then he said, fast cars and selling my soul for material wishes, fast cars and bitches, wishing I lived my life a legend, immortalized in pictures. This brother was just deep, man. This brother was just deep. So he's selling his soul for material wishes, fast cars and bitches. You know, when Pac loved dropping in them, picture me rolling in my 500 Benz. You know what I'm saying? When he did, what's your phone number? He was on the highway on his way to go get him some PUSSY. And he was getting the chick. Whereas, which ain't really a bad thing, but in this world, black people, we got so much shit to get together, man. We can't be selling our soul for material wishes, fast cars, and bitches. And then he said, wishing I lived my life a legend, immortalized in pictures. Damn. In my opinion, he lived his life like a legend. What Pac did is legend. Like, there's no, you can get many videos from other people. You can get many videos from other rappers. A lot of other people. The only one comparable person to a Tupac's lifestyle would be Mike Tyson. In my opinion, would be Mike Tyson comparable to Tupac. You know what I'm saying? They was like synonymous. They're almost the same. You know what I mean? It's just like Tupac said, I'm like Mike Tyson, except I'm a little nigga. And he ain't no boxer. Wishing I lived my life a legend, immortalized in pictures. Could be regularly talking about the regular images, or he could be talking about just immortalizing himself in more films. Why shed tears? Save your sympathy. My childhood years was spent burying my peers in the cemetery. Damn, that nigga said, why shed tears? Save your sympathy. So it's like, don't feel sorry for me. He said, my childhood years was spent burying my peers in the cemetery. We got it hard, man. I'm going to tell you like this. Dr. John Henry Clark said the white man had a fantasy about colonizing and making this shit his heaven. And ever since he did that, it's been hell for the black man. When you just check it out, they always say we get our heaven when we die. Spent burying my peers in the cemetery. Come on, man. Niggas don't understand how deep Pac was at such a young age. Here's a message to the newborns waiting to breathe. And look at all these young people that came out doing Tupac videos after he died. You know, a lot of them, like this dude named King Guap, young brother, these two Spanish couple, they young, they do Tupac videos. I be seeing a lot of young people out here reacting to Tupac videos and getting mad subscribers. You know what I mean? Getting mad love, mad support. And from people like that's my age. We appreciate that. But look what Tupac said. Here's a message to the newborns waiting to breathe. If you believe that you can achieve, just look at me. That's just like a message that he left for those that's doing it now. It's just that some of them really need to take time and fully analyze Tupac's lyrics, or whether Machiavelli lyrics, because Machiavelli, he got real deep. He got real deep, especially on that One Nation album. Pac was just unbelievable, man. And then he says, if you believe, then you can achieve. Just look at me. Against all odds, though life is hard, we carry on. Living in the projects, broke with no lights on. Some of us are so poor that we can't even pay the bills. And it's fucked up because you're renting. When you're renting, it's bad enough God created this world, or whatever created this world, with electricity in it, and then people capitalize off the electricity and they charge you every 30 days to keep electricity on. Whereas the shit can stay on forever. But they want to charge us. Yo, a lot of people, y'all don't never fathom that. Every 30 days we pay bills. Every 30 days. Yo, for those who celebrate this month of Christmas, Like, you would think that the government, society be like, yo, this month right here is so joyful, so precious. Y'all ain't got to pay no bills. This is a grace period. You ain't got to pay National Grid. You ain't got to pay your car insurance. You ain't got to pay nothing but maybe food. Maybe food and maybe gases and travel and shit like that. But far as like, you know, you ain't got to pay your rent this month and you ain't got to pay your insurance. You ain't got to pay your car phone. You know, those kind of bills. Those kind of bills, you get a free month off, so you could buy your family some gifts or whatever the case may be, or just say this is like, yo, this is society saying we appreciate you humans for making the world better. But no, nobody don't think on that level, man. So it says, living in the projects broke with no lights on. So if you poor, you can't pay your lights. If you poor and you got a car and you can't keep your insurance, then you ain't got no insurance no more. You poor, you can't get no gas no more. You poor, you can't pay your rent. You poor, you can't pay your phone bill. You poor, you can't take out your girl. You can't go to the movies. You can't do a lot of shit when we fucking poor. And a lot of our freaking money goes to bills every 30 days. And a lot of us spending money on lottery. You know, a lot of us is trying to invest in stocks and trying to figure it out. Everybody ain't equipped. Everybody ain't intelligent enough to figure it out. Some people are just not financially literate. Some of us are effed up. Student loans, etc. Anyways, we're going to end this part off. To all the C's that follow me, protect your essence. Born with less, but you're still precious. Just smile for me now. So even after all this shit I'm talking, Tupac still says smile. It's going to be some stuff you're going to see that's going to make it hard to smile in the future. That's facts, bro. That's facts, man. A little 12-year-old was just killed and it got caught in the crossfires. I forget where, but that happens all the time. And I ain't desensitized to that shit. That shit hurts me. I ain't going to use the camera online. Yo, niggas get shot every day, B. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But still in all, though, man, we still got to smile.